Boom. You looking for this?
Welcome to our Loki episode 5 reaction.
It was a crazy one, man.
It really was. I don't know. I don't know, man. I was lost the entire episode. I didn't even know what to think about it. If I was
There was a lot going on. It really moved the plot forward.
Yeah, 100%.
And it has got to. There's only one more.
I know, and I'm gonna be sad when it's over. They have a lot. I mean, even though it advanced the plot forward, I still feel like they have a lot to do.
Yeah, how are they gonna pack it in?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. This next episode is gonna be insane.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
This episode definitely had a lot of Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, I mean, just initial reactions. It left us with another cliffhanger as they're about to approach this random mansion sitting beyond time.
Yeah, we can get into that stuff later. And
yeah.
Another thing was this episode had really good production.
Yeah.
Movie quality, pretty much.
Oh, 100%. I mean, top of the line Marvel content, and especially since Endgame, it's nice to see it all again. And it's the trailer payoffs that have been insane. We've seen the USS Eldridge, Polybius, President Loki, Mobius driving the pizza car. All of that was in the trailers, and we hadn't seen that stuff yet. So now we have it, leaving us at a good position.
Right.
We'd have to see. I don't know what else there is in the trailers that hasn't been featured yet in the show, but
I'm not sure. But those are some big ones I noticed.
yeah.
And I was wondering how it would all make sense with that much left in the trailers that we haven't seen yet.
Oh yeah.
And then we got it.
Admittedly,
It
it's been a while since I've seen the trailers, but I going back and looking through them, I was like, wow, there was a lot of stuff we hadn't seen yet, and the way they fit it all together through the void just makes a lot of sense. So let's hit it up with an episode recap. The first thing I immediately noticed was that the episode opens on an upside down shot, kind of, I guess, signifying after the last episode having revealed that the timekeepers were all a sham. It opens up on an upside down shot, revealing, how Loki's and Sylvie's and Renslayer's and B-15's, all of their perceptions of what this TVA was have been completely flipped upside down. They have no idea what to think anymore. Who in the world was in charge? Yeah, definitely. And I thought that was a really cool shot. A great way to open the episode. The first part of the episode, after that shot, follows Loki as he adventures with other variants of himself, figuring out about Alioth and the Void. And would you know anything about Alioth?
It's kind of a deep cut from the comics.
Yeah, Loki.
Honestly, it was a little past my knowledge.
Yeah, me too.
Had to brush up on that, but it's definitely very interesting if you look into it.
Mm-hmm.
Alioth, and he has to do with Kang.
Yeah.
So it's another Kang type.
He's kind of like, I guess, a Kang agent in a way.
Kind of like described in this episode, he's a guardian.
Yeah, he's a guardian of Kang's dimension. So, and then the Void is just, they described it as a place where timelines no longer can branch, kind of like at the end of all timelines. So if they ever were to destroy a branch timeline, that branch timeline gets deleted or gets transported to the Void, where Alioth ends up eating it, I guess, devouring it. I don't know.
You got, basically in the Void, you got Alioth and a bunch of Lokis, dude.
Yeah, really.
Because that's
and a rogue Mobius, dude.
Yeah, driving a pizza.
Yeah. So while Loki was adventuring with himself, Sylvie and Renslayer were working together in a kind of a weird alliance to figure out who was behind the TVA, using Miss Minutes' knowledge and access to secure files.
That was something else, dude. Miss Minutes seems kind of...
I don't know what to think. I'm still confused. I don't know what to think about her.
She was trying to breeze through those, trying to find that ship.
Yeah.
The one that could go to the end of time.
Yeah.
She was trying to breeze through them and kind of go along with
with Renslayer. Like she almost picked up. Yeah. It was a really weird thing. And she showed like she was under pressure trying to find these files, and she was nervous kind of in a way. But my big thing is like, I don't know what to think about Renslayer right now. Like, where is she at? Where do you think her head's at?
See, I almost believed her at first.
I did too. Like, whenever she said that she wanted to help Sylvie figure it out, I was like, I'm down.
It was a good show. It was a good show.
Oh yeah, easily.
I mean, if you can make Sylvie believe it, the audience is probably...
And she almost had Sylvie there for a second, but Miss Minutes kept on stalling and kind of gave it up to Sylvie, which is a good thing, I guess, in a way, for our heroes.
Yeah.
But So after that, the other Lokis retell their stories. The other Lokis being classic Loki, boastful Loki, Kid Loki, which Kid Loki actually in his timeline killed Thor, which is actually
that was a bombshell.
Yeah, he should be boastful Loki. That was actually they actually said in the show that the Void is considered Kid Loki's kingdom, having killed Thor. So that leads to in the main timeline, Loki, after they were retelling their stories, that he decides that he's going to go kill Goliath. So Tom Hiddleston's Loki decides that he's going to go kill Goliath and try, I guess, to get back to the TVA, which we figured that wouldn't happen.
No.
But the Tom Hiddleston's Loki declares that Loki's always surviving, so he's determined to keep on surviving. I guess I don't know. He's going to go try and go fight Goliath, I guess. And then at the TVA, while all of that's happening, Renslayer tries to trick Sylvie, as we mentioned earlier, by claiming to have a ship that can travel to the end of time. And Sylvie, however, picks up on the Renslayer's deceptions and prunes herself. She literally killed herself. So Sylvie killed herself to go meet up with the main Loki.
Well, she kind of knew it.
Yeah, she knew what she was
had a
doing.
plan in mind.
Yeah, that is one thing that Renslayer kind of revealed her cards a little bit on that one by telling Sylvie that she would actually still be alive if she pruned herself. So that gave her incentive. Sylvie lands inside the Void. We pick up after Sylvie prunes herself. She lands inside the Void where Goliath tries to attack and destroy her. And Sylvie runs and somehow makes an enchantment connection with Goliath.
I was confused as to what that was at first.
When I was watching it, I was like, "What in the world's happening?" I thought it was like a flashback into her.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Like into Asgard. I thought I saw Asgard there for a second.
I thought it was in there.
But what she figures out about Goliath is that she sees him almost as a barrier between the Void and some kind of weird mansion behind Goliath. So she figures that he's the guard dog of something bigger than what he is, which I mean, he was pretty big. He was a pretty big cloud, so or whatever he is. I don't even know.
Guard cloud, dude.
Yeah, guard cloud. And she continues to run, but is picked up by Mobius.
Oh man,
I'm so glad to see Mobius. Like, wow.
It'd have been nice if he drove in on a jet ski.
Yeah,
just on land.
A land ski.
Is that good? Land ski.
Yeah, and picks her up and gives us wow. And they meet up with the other Lokis and they hatch a plan to not kill Goliath, but to enchant Goliath to try and figure out what is behind him. So Loki and Sylvie discuss after that. Loki and Sylvie discuss their Nexus event and what that means for them together. So Loki and Sylvie, their connection in episode 4 caused a Nexus event that was able to override an already Nexus event. Yeah. So I think they were trying to figure that out, but that may be the key, because when they connected to, at the end of the episode, when they connected to take down Goliath or to enchant him, I guess, that was the only way that they were going to do it. They were stronger together than they were separate. And there's something, I don't know, we'll get into that in a minute.
That was a pretty big reveal, because what was it, 2 episodes ago that Sylvie was trying to show Loki how to enchant?
Yeah,
he was saying he couldn't do it, and then they did it together.
Yeah,
now we know Loki can.
Yeah, enchantment powers. Loki actually claims that I guess every Loki doesn't know really how powerful they are.
Right, and that was after classic Loki.
Yeah, no joke.
Resurrects Asgard.
Yeah, I know. Like freaking brings it back, dude. Just like sits there like, oh.
Sylvie's about to get eaten when Loki's over there with his flaming sword trying to distract him.
And then you see Goliath turn to his left or right. I don't remember which direction, but he turns his attention away, and you just see Asgard just coming up from the ashes in a projection. And it's probably one of the coolest shots I've seen of the MCU by far.
It was huge. The music.
Oh, the music. Yeah, the music made that scene too.
It was big, just huge.
And so while classic Loki was distracting Goliath, Loki and Sylvie are able to enchant Goliath, not without classic Loki supposedly dying. More on that later. But they were able to enchant Goliath, and as the smoke clears from Goliath's cloud, it reveals a mansion on the top of a rock in a world between worlds. Yeah. And almost kind of like a portal. I don't even know how to describe it, but
we gotta assume that's where whoever's behind the TVA has been running this whole thing.
100%. That's kind of what Sylvie hinted at too earlier. Is that whoever's controlling TVA is behind Goliath.
Right.
And so that leads us into our biggest questions after the recap, and ultimately my biggest question, I think our biggest question, and the fandom's biggest question is who is behind the TVA.
Still, that's still the biggest question, dude. It wasn't answered, but you can't expect an answer after that.
No, I mean,
After that, you can't be dissatisfied, really.
I mean, but honestly, you expect an answer in episode 6, though. Like, I don't even know if we'll get an answer in episode 6.
I mean, maybe. I think if we do, it'll be at the very end, kind of like Thanos in the first Avengers.
Yeah, very
Just a little
end, maybe,
glimpse.
a glimpse. I can see that too.
It would be nuts.
So, who are your potential prospects for who is behind the TVA? Prospect hunt.
Okay, number one prospect here has got to be King. It's gotta be.
It has to be. All signs point to King.
You got
Okay,
Renslayer.
you can hate on the fandom for guessing that it might be King, but I mean, literally every single sign points to King. We have Renslayer, like you said. We have Elias.
No.
I mean, more signs than that I can't think off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
they're every single sign's pointing to King. Name another prospect. Who do you think?
One that I feel like after being so satisfied with this show, if they do it, I feel like they could pull it off, and that would be another variant. Loki is behind it all.
Yeah, and I feel like people would be okay with that, like you said.
I mean, at first when you see the prospects of Kang, you're like another variant Loki. We've seen 5,000 of those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, who in the world would be different at this one? I mean, we freaking see Loki as an alligator, so like, I don't really know. I hope it's not that. I definitely hope it's Kang, or I mean, another prospect that we have listed down is Miss Minutes.
And as we said earlier, dude, she is kind of
She's weird.
There's something up with it.
She's definitely weird, but I don't know if she was in charge. Maybe not like Miss Minutes, but like I don't know.
An embodied.
Yeah, like an embodied form of Miss Minutes, since she's technically a disembodied.
I don't know what she is.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know how to describe her. Something like Ultron, but something like Ultron. That's the best I got.
Okay, here's a question for you. Would Miss Minutes crap on Ultron?
I can't say that.
You take it?
You know I love Ultron.
Yeah,
You know I
he's your
love
favorite villain.
Yeah, you know I love Ultron, dude. I don't think so. I mean, the Avengers beat Ultron, but
But did they really? Is he still alive?
Ultron is Miss Minutes.
There's a road theory.
Yeah, there's a theory.
Might have to watch another video for that one.
Yeah, stay
Anyways,
tuned, guys. We'll cover it.
Our second question here is what and where is the city at the end of time? The one that's revealed after they enchant Elias.
I mean, I have no idea.
I really don't know.
I mean, could it be like King's? I forgot what King's Watchtower or something like that.
Yeah,
or,
Citadel.
Yeah, King's Citadel. That's what it is.
I mean,
we didn't see any hints at Chronopolis, so that's one thing that I was confused about. Is I didn't see any big city, multiple timelines converging. So if anything, that would be the Void almost.
my initial reaction was just the House of M comics, and I knew that wasn't really realistic. But after watching WandaVision, and that was kind of based on House of M a little bit.
Yeah, a little
And
bit.
it just gave me that aesthetic, but that was just kind of a pipe dream.
Yeah. I don't know where in the world it would be. And to me, it looked like almost in a world, like just a world between worlds,
Right.
somewhere at the center of all time, almost.
And we see in the trailer, it's on that little rock.
Yeah,
formation.
and we've got like blue lights behind it, maybe like in a black hole somewhere. I mean, I guess. And if Kang's in control of all time, it could be, I guess, anywhere at any point in time if he wants to. So he could have put it somewhere next to Pluto if he wanted to, I guess, and somewhere random. And another big question that we have is, does Renslayer really not know what's going on?
She threw a lot of curveballs.
Yeah, I know. I was confused. She had me going that she was a good guy, but then she switched, and now she really wants to know. I mean,
and then her talk with B, formerly known as B-23, B-15.
Yeah.
That's a reference. B-15, her talk, B-15 kind of exposed her.
Yeah, she did. 100%. Renslayer was just trying to get at B-15, trying to, tell her that she betrayed the TVA, and B-15 was like, called her bluff and was like, you don't really care about the TVA. You just want to know who's behind it, which, if she figures out it's Kang, that could lead to a potential love interest from the comics.
But she did kind of call her out, though, like you said, when she said she wouldn't do it as good as Sylvie.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Sylvie wanted to do it, and
Sylvie needed.
Yeah, Sylvie needed to do it,
Right.
and Renslayer wanted to do it. My bad.
Right.
I think she does. I mean, but she still wasn't surprised when the timekeepers got beheaded. So like that's
that would. I mean, that's just a huge bombshell.
yeah.
That would have rocked her world.
Yeah, especially having grown up in the TVA, I guess in a way.
As far as she does.
Being created by the TVA, having gone from what B-15 was as a soldier almost to a judge. She has to know something. And she has clearance, as we've seen earlier in the episode about her trying to reference files. So she definitely knows something. I don't know if she really knows who's behind it though. But
yeah, she might. She might not, dude. That's the thing. We got one more episode.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that we'll see is more about Renslayer. And the final question that we have, our biggest question is classic Loki still alive?
Dude, after the man said he survived the Mad Titan himself, Thanos, you can't count him out.
I'm not gonna count him out.
You can't count him out.
I'm not. I mean, man literally resurrected Asgard from what we saw. I mean, he could have been, and that could have been another projection. He could have been. I want to see him alive. He's a good character. He definitely made it.
In that fight scene against the other Lokis, did you notice how he like projected himself still fighting?
Yeah.
And then they just escaped with the portal.
I mean, yeah. He's got this portal power.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? This Loki's insane. But he did say he lived by himself for a while, so I'm sure he had a lot of time to practice his magic. That leads our next topic, I guess, would be all of the Easter eggs that we found in this episode. There were quite a lot more than what we have listed, obviously, but these are just a few of the biggest ones that we noticed. The first one that I saw, and he saw it too, is Thanos copter, dude.
That comes from our background in the Lego Marvel.
In the Lego Marvel
Can't
games.
miss it, dude.
I loved flying around as Thanos copter. I felt like such a powerful guy.
It was like a regular helicopter that said Thanos.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they had some kind of like missile or bomb next to it, I think.
It can't be mistaken.
Yeah, it was definitely Thanos copter. And by the way, I recommend Lego Marvel.
Good game.
Next, we see through this kind of panning through the ground into the lair where all the Lokis were hanging out. We see Throg.
Throg, dude.
Throg and Mjolnir.
Mjolnir too.
Throg was stuck in this glass jar trying to get the Mjolnir, but he couldn't. Because he was stuck.
Poor guy, dude.
Yeah, poor Throg.
I love to see Throg wield Mjolnir. Dude.
Yeah, do we mind? I mean, who knows at this point? This show is throwing curveball after curveball. So
do you think Loki, Gator, and Throg are from the same universe?
I think it might be a share. I think that's what they're trying to hint at is a shared universe of maybe animals. Maybe we'll see Spider-Ham. I wish. I feel like we could make a show about it. I'd watch it.
I'd watch it. I'd watch a show about any of these Lokis, really.
Yeah.
Classic Loki, that'd be fascinating. And Kid Loki.
I want to see how Kid Loki killed Thor. Marvel, if you ever hear this, show us how Kid Loki killed Thor. Another Easter egg that we noticed was in a pan shot, almost when they're on the hill, you can see the Dark Aster, which is Ronan the Accuser's ship, off to the left, which I thought was a very interesting Easter egg. I liked Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy.
When's the last time we saw a ship?
2014.
Was it in Captain Marvel?
Was it in Captain? I don't know if it was in Captain Marvel.
Either way, that's before Guardians.
And then we saw a variant of his ship, Thanos' ship in Infinity War and in Endgame as well, but it was not the same ship. Another interesting Easter egg that we saw was actually the USS Eldridge, which is a reference to this. I think it was called like the Philadelphia Project or something like that, where they claimed that this battleship that was used in the Solomon Islands actually like teleported between times. And they lost sailors because it teleported to like New York, then to a different dimension with aliens. And so I guess Loki's trying to retcon this to say that that's where that battleship went, was to the void, I guess. Yeah. Which I thought was actually interesting.
Very interesting. That's a cool inclusion, kind of like the DB Cooper thing.
Yeah.
They're saying it was Loki or it was in the Loki timeline.
Yeah.
MCU.
I think that's a very interesting retcon because that's one of I guess. Not really America's biggest mysteries, but I do like how they included that. I had never actually heard of that before until I researched it. And then you got the next one.
Another one is the Polybius arcade game. I don't know too much about it. I think it's from the Washington area. Yeah. It was kind of like an underground arcade game that a bunch of people they said they all played it, but then no one ever found any record of it or any of the games itself. As far as I know, I could be.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. So
which it's very interesting. You can see it in the background with President Loki there in the
that was a
Kid
great
Loki's
shot.
Kid Loki's lair there.
That was a great shot. So as we approach the end of the video, what I want to do is go over the predictions for the finale.
Oh, no, dude. Okay, you got to put number one in. We got to see Mobius on a jet ski.
It's gonna happen. Wow. I mean, he's gonna be riding on a jet ski under the San Francisco Bridge, just enjoying life.
We don't know where he went as for now.
Yeah, he went. I mean, he claims to have gone back to the TVA, but I can't help but think that he went back to. He went to some ocean somewhere.
Honestly, I'm rooting for it.
I'm rooting for it too. Post-credit scene, Mobius. Episode 6, he's got to be riding a jet ski.
That would be a good post-credit scene.
And they have to throw in a wow. Like, it absolutely has to happen.
Lightning McQueen, man, you gotta love it.
The next prediction that we have for the finale is we think that we'll see more of Renslayer's past.
If we don't in this, I think at least maybe season 2.
Yeah, definitely season. I mean, she's definitely one of the most interesting. You know, I'm interested in Sylvie. I'm interested in Loki. I'm interested in Mobius. But Renslayer is kind of a different story because
different breed.
She knows more than they did, but yet she doesn't know. I don't know. How did she get to a judge from a soldier? Like we haven't seen how promotions work, and I want to know how she got there. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know more about her past, where she came from.
She's gonna have some kind of link.
Yeah.
Well, she don't have to, but at this point, that's kind of what it's implying. I feel.
Yeah, because it's just weird. There's no way she really believed that the timekeepers were real.
No, not after one of their heads got chopped off and she was.
Yeah, there's no way that she believed that. So she definitely has a link to whoever is in charge of the TVA, which we're claiming to be Kang. Which actually leads us to our next prediction for the finale: that Kang will be the person behind it all, the big bad.
We're putting it out there. We're saying it's Kang.
Kang will be in episode 6. It will be. It will be. Who else could it be? I don't know. I literally don't know who else it could be.
I'm honestly, as we're making this, I'm kind of having second thoughts.
What?
No, I still believe it's going to be Kang, but there's just other ideas coming into my head. But I still, in my heart, believe it'll be Kang.
I mean, you saw what they kind of did with us in WandaVision. You know, they do like to bait the fans.
Because if there wasn't a season 2, I'd be even more sold.
Yeah.
But now that there's a season 2, I feel like it can be more of a storyline that continues into the next season. Whereas if it was Kang, it would continue into
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Yeah, because he's already been confirmed for that movie. So that's a good point. My heart still wants to go Kang, but I do see that point. I mean, who else do you think could be behind it?
See, if it was like WandaVision, it would basically have to be Renslayer. She would be the Agatha Harkness of this show, but I don't see it being her.
Or maybe like or a Loki variant.
Loki variant. I think if it's not Kang, which I hope it is, and I honestly still do believe it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Loki variant.
Yeah, I hope it's not a Loki variant. I just feel like that would be kind of repetitive at this point. But even if it is, you know, I won't riot. You know,
yeah.
I'm not gonna riot if it's a Loki variant. This show has been very good.
That thought just popped into my head because the season 2 thing, I feel like they just might try and tie it into season 2 instead of a movie.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, but if the movie will come out before season 2 of it, Loki will.
Right. So
maybe Kang's role will be fleshed out more. But I don't know. I do agree with that. Well, I don't know. And then as we end the video, our final takes. My final take is this: that episode 6 will be one of the best Marvel productions to this point. I think.
After this episode honestly is up there.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, in my mind, it's up there with Endgame. It's up there with Infinity War. I mean, just in terms of interest, production level, cast. Like it had everything you could ever want: action, lore, Easter eggs. Like it is
a bunch of Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, it is way up there. And then the last final take that we have is that the ramifications that Kang will have on the MCU will be drastic if he's in it.
Right.
And this is the movies versus the universe as a whole. Like in terms of the movies that he's already been in, right? Or the movies that have already happened, it won't change much. But in the universe as a whole, in the grand scheme of things,
different perspective on it, really. Because once you know that someone's been behind it all and looked at Thanos and been like, he's not that much of a threat.
Yeah, I mean, and basically, like, he pre-planned, like, King pre-planned Thanos beating the Avengers and the Avengers beating Thanos. So then, who's gonna beat Thing? Or Kang?
Thing?
Yeah, he's gonna be
Is that
King.
six?
Yeah, Thing. Fantastic Four confirmed.
Doctor Doom? Doctor Doom?
It could be Doctor Doom. It could be Doctor Doom.
Yeah, but if Kane's in it, it would be an absolute bombshell. And even though we're predicting it, it would still be mind blowing.
Oh yeah, I think it would. It would still.
If you saw this coming from a mile away, it would hit you. It would hit you the same as if you saw it right in front of your face. I feel
Yeah, it
it's just that big of a bombshell.
It definitely would. Just having that big of a bad in a show. Like, imagine if they had put Thanos in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that. They revealed Thanos in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It just wouldn't have felt the same.
That's true. That's a good comparison.
But I do feel like just the scale of Loki, as we've already talked about, with the production and everything, it would definitely be justified to have King in there.
Yeah.
And the mystery of the show as well. It would fit.
I mean, it basically feels like a movie.
And yeah, at this point it does, and
it's done really well, right? I mean,
yeah, I think it is one of the most, or if not the most streamed show on Disney Plus.
Because I think one reason they don't do reveals like that in TV shows is because more people watch the movies.
Yeah.
And if they don't watch the TV shows and they go and watch a movie that has someone that's been introduced in the show, who's this?
Who in the world is this? But since Loki is this big show that everybody has access to, or at least that has Disney Plus, they would definitely be justified to reveal King in there. I hope they do.
That's what we're rooting for, man.
I hope they do.
Either
Definitely.
way, it's been a great series. Right?
Yeah, really. I'm not disappointed whatsoever. We said from the beginning that this show would be the best of the three Marvel shows.
Yeah, we did.
Which WandaVision was actually a shocker of how good it was. I didn't expect it to be that good.
It was a
But
good show.
Captain America and the Winter, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. My bad.
Basically, it was Captain America.
Yeah, but by the end it was Captain America. That show was a good show, but I definitely it tried to play on the mystery card with the power broker, but not to the same effect that Loki had. Yeah, not to the same effect that Loki had. Loki just figuring out who's behind the TVA has boggled people's minds for so long. So I'm definitely interested to see what they have in store for episode 6 and for beyond, for the ramifications of the Marvel Universe in general.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
And we'll see you later.